This podcast is brought to you by the Mahwah High School Sports Talk Club.
Welcome, Thunderbirds, to the Mahwah High School Sports Talk podcast. I'm junior Nicholas Bostico.
I am freshman Daniel Almash.
I'm senior Joey Smith.
Freshman Wade Barton.
Sophomore Melvin Guevara.
Sophomore Chase Moskowitz.
I'm a junior Alex Sidios.
We got a great show for you today. Today we're going to be talking about the battle of the NFC East. All right, guys. So, as we know, the race is very close for the first spot in the NFC East. We got the Eagles, who are 8-1, the Giants, who are 7-2, the Cowboys, who are 6-3, and we got the Commanders of Washington, who are 5-5. Who do you guys see as the biggest threat to the NFC East right now?
The Eagles, definitely. They have a really easy schedule, and I don't see them stopping. Even though they lost, just don't see them stopping.
I say momentum is probably going to go in the Giants' way. I feel like we have a way better defensive coordinator. He's got great defensive schemes with the zone blitzes, which we could easily get to Jalen Hurts. He's not doesn't have good pocket presence, doesn't step up in the pocket. So I feel like if we could just get to him with either Kayvon or any of our outside linebackers or edge rushers, I feel like we'll be completely fine versus the Eagles in the next 2 games, right?
Yeah, I agree. One thing I've been seeing a lot lately is the chemistry that's been building with Daniel Jones and with a lot of the players on the offense. So, what do you guys think? What's something that could be a threat to the Giants' offense?
Kenny Galladay, just not doing good. Got benched in his second half.
Galladay's horrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really say, he was signed to be like what he did in Detroit, and we can't cut him or trade him for another year. So I say as soon as we cut him, we maybe get even though Judy's injured, maybe wait till next year to get him. Just we need some good slot guys. Even though we have Wandale, we have all those guys. Slayton coming in with a 55-yard touchdown last week, which was obviously great to see because he's earned his minutes. I would say if we could just get a good slot guy and a wide receiver one, that's all we need.
Definitely, I agree with that. Slayton's been stepping up the past couple of games.
All right, guys. So, as we know, another thing, Odell Beckham Jr. been running around free agency for about 11 weeks now, and as it's been reported, the New York Giants and the Dallas Cowboys are the 2 teams closing in on the OBJ race. What impact do we see OBJ making with the New York Giants?
Well, we obviously see, the Rams signed him for very little, and we have let's say $2.5 million in cap, which is one of the least amount of cap room any other team can have in the NFL. So I feel like if we sign him for maybe half of our cap, he's gonna make a huge impact. He could play slot, he could play wide receiver 1, he could play really anything. I feel like he's just one of the best route runners in the league.
I think it'd also be a good thing because obviously a lot of Giants fans grow up around Odell Beckham, and just the knowing of having him back, I feel like obviously he's just an amazing wide receiver, and we can definitely use someone like him after the Kadarius Toney trade. But like I said, back to the fans and stuff like that, I think it could really build on something like that.
I don't know. I feel like Jones, if he goes, Jones might hurt him a bit. If he might not produce as much, he might not hit him as much. So it might not be as good if he comes here like he was in LA.
I think Dimes likes. I think OBJ likes pocket passers more than he likes scramblers because he runs he can either run inside curls or just deep crosses every single time. So I feel like Eli, that's where he really shined. But I feel like Daniel Jones. I feel like Jones, he's a wide receiver's quarterback. So I feel like.
All right, I don't think OBJ going to the Giants would be a great idea. I mean, we haven't seen him play since the Super Bowl. We don't really know if he's still got that juice left.
He did have that
and,
juice in LA, though.
Who knows what that would do to team morale? So.
Yeah. I don't know. I kind of disagree with that. I think if he were to come back to New York, I feel like I kind of said already, the morale would go up a little bit. But that's just my opinion.
So, also going on about Odell, also heard a rumor from Bleacher Report that Odell actually wanted a Michael Gallup type contract, and unfortunately, the Giants' cap space does not, contribute to that kind of money. And although the Giants are going to have a lot more cap room next year, we still have to pay other players, that we're going to be extending, and yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that. I don't know if we have the money for it in the cap space.
Yeah, another thing about Odell is I feel like he's gonna get injured. He's a bit more injury prone now, and if he comes to the Giants and gets injured right away, I mean that's not good.
True, we've seen that with both LA and Cleveland. So
Yeah.
seeing him, I mean, that's definitely a possibility
And
at the end of the day.
we could also, age. He's 30, and
He's 30.
yeah, I mean, and maybe it's time to start, thinking about the draft. I mean, I know we're already in the middle of the season. The Giants, are doing
We're doing good.
really well, but maybe it's just time to start looking at some wide receivers that are,
What
coming
are our
out of
draft
college.
picks looking like?
I would say mid, maybe
if they
15,
keep doing what they're
13.
doing.
No. Like
I
do we
mean-
have another first round?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we have another first round.
I feel like,
too?
It's the Bears, right?
yeah,
The
I
Bears
think,
pick?
yeah.
It's the Bears.
Well, yeah, we have the Bears.
No, that was
That
last
was
year.
last year.
Yeah.
Oh, I think we only have
Did we
one.
get
this
another
year.
one?
We
Yeah.
only have
So
one.
I don't
okay,
think we
but
did. Did we?
here's the thing.
Do we go off?
Since the
line?
Giants are doing well, you know what I'm saying? If we end up
Being a playoff
like
contender.
exactly. If we end up being playoff contenders, we might not see a first round draft pick until like I don't know 30th pick, or could be 30th pick,
Well,
or
that's
like
fine for
in the
me.
20s.
30th
I'd
pick is
rather
Of course,
be good.
I mean that is true. Well,
I mean,
yeah.
We're not a Super Bowl or
Well-
bust team this year. I feel like if we could go, 13 wins, maybe even 12, like we'll still get a mid-20s, maybe even early 20s draft
Fine
pick.
with me as long as we're in the playoffs.
I feel like
true.
what is this, like QB heavy draft? We got Bryce Young out of Alabama and that guy out of Ohio State.
And we thing is, I know in the talk about playoff contention, the Bears, as of right now, are the only team that have some sort of playoff scenario. So I believe it's they can be eliminated from division contention if they lose next week and the Vikings win their game. They'll be eliminated from division contention. So as long as they just continue to do poorly, then we can get our picks up.
You also,
Yeah. Do you think we move on from Jones, right, in this draft?
Yeah.
I think
Oh, yeah.
that's yeah.
No, he's not a franchise QB. He's doing
Yeah,
good right
he's-
now, but I don't see him on the team.
here's the thing.
No, I see him as a backup on the team.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
Great
then
backup.
Sign him
Oh,
maybe
100%.
for
yeah.
a few.
So
Maybe
now,
like 2,
Like that
3
Alexander
years,
Yeah.
max,
you know?
not minimum.
So now let me
This
ask.
is contract
Pay,
year, right?
don't pay
And then we obviously get
Jones all
Saquon
the money.
back.
Pay Barkley.
Saquon.
I call him King Quads. He's so
Kim
good.
Quads.
King Quads, so good.
So now let me ask, right?
Coordinator.
We're in the draft. We pick, let's say, in the 20s somewhere. Who do we go with? Like, honestly, if we're gonna go
Wide
with the
receiver.
quarterback.
I mean,
no,
obvi-
but okay,
obviously-
but where are we going with a quarterback, man?
We'll see
keep
how
getting
Drake
I
all
would
does.
I would say here's the thing. Obviously, Bryce Young and C.J. Stroud would be off the board. You don't want to have that another Daniel Jones situation where even though we had a mid pick during his draft here, I feel like these guys have always something to prove than the top 3 draft picks. I don't really want to go into that situation again where we have to go 5 years on another rookie contract, and then on like the last year we get that great season that we're expecting without the first 3 years of his contract. We don't want that ever again.
Yeah, and I feel like we get a receiver. We don't want another guy like Tony, where we wasted a first round and look at that, he's out. He's out of. So I feel like either defense or maybe receiver, but we got to pick a good receiver. Like it has to be a good one.
Speaking of the draft, and speaking about Tony, the 3rd round pick, like you got to put that into consideration. I mean, Jeremiah Asukoromari, even though middle linebacker core is like all right, it's not the best. Even though our defense has had extreme upgrades past few years.
Yeah.
Like he didn't fall till the 4th round. We could have picked him like 3 times. Like we got to make sure like we get those picks like down, like the steals of the draft.
Yeah.
Like they always come in the 3rd, maybe even 5th round. We got to steal them like immediately.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right. Anyways, that's gonna wrap it up. Thank you guys for joining the
Thank you.
Mahwah High School Talk Sports Talk podcast. We will see you hopefully next week, and we are signing out.